All right, let's talk about a critical question. It's a question that every single person in business, from a marketer to an analyst to the CEO, eventually has to face. Get this one wrong, and it can cost you big time.
And that question is simply this: did that thing we just did actually work? You know the feeling, right? You run a huge weekend sale, you launch a new ad campaign, and you see a nice little spike in the numbers. But then that nagging question pops up. Was that our brilliant strategy paying off, or was it just random good luck?
So let's make this real. Imagine, before your sale, you're chugging along selling about 100 units a day. Then, during the sale, bam, you're hitting 150. That's a 50% jump. Now your gut is screaming, success, it worked. But let's be honest, when there's real money on the line, a gut feeling just doesn't cut it.
And that is where the hero of our story comes in, the p-value. The best way to think about it is as a statistical truth detector. It's the one tool designed to answer that single, crucial question. Was this a real effect, or was it just the universe playing games with our data?
So how does this little truth detector work? Well, at its heart, it's actually pretty simple. When you run your analysis, a small p-value is a huge signal. It's basically your data waving a flag and telling you, hey, pay attention. This sales boost you're seeing, it's probably not a coincidence. So this gives us a clear, really powerful line in the sand. In the world of statistics, there's this common threshold. If your result is on one side of the line, you can be pretty darn confident your discount made a real impact. But if it's on the other side, well, you have to admit that it might just be random noise. So what's that magic line? It's this number, 0.05. If you're going to remember one number today, make it this one. This little number represents a 5% chance that your results are a total fluke. So when we're aiming for a p-value that's less than 0.05, what we're really saying is we need the probability of this being random luck to be less than 5%. That's our standard for being confident. Now, look, I get it. For a lot of people, seeing something like p equals 0.02 on a report can be really intimidating. Statistics can feel like this whole other language full of weird symbols and, yes, scary decimals. But let's completely reframe that right now. P-values aren't scary. They're just confidence scores. That's it. Think of it that way. A low p-value is like your data giving your insight a high five, a great score, telling you, yep, you can be confident you've found something real here. And here's why that confidence score is so important. Because in the real world, in business, confidence is what allows us to act. A low p-value lets you walk into that big meeting and say, we need to invest more in this, not because you hope it works, but because you have the proof that it does. I mean, this is the whole game, right? Without something like a p-value, you're just guessing. You're making decisions based on hope and instinct. With a p-value, you're making decisions based on actual proof. It's the difference between flying blind and flying with a full instrument panel lighting your way. And all this boils down to a simple, repeatable process. It's not some kind of dark magic. You start with a question. Did the sale work? You analyze your data. You check the p-value. And then in that final beautiful step, you can confidently separate the real signal from all the random noise. So look, if you only remember two things from all of this, let them be these. First, the p-value is your proof. It's the evidence that your data is telling you something true. And second, its main job is to help you cut through the clutter and focus on the trends that actually matter. But, and this is a really important but, this brings up one final massive question. The p-value is amazing at telling you if there's a real effect, but it doesn't tell you how big that effect is. Knowing your discount worked is fantastic, but was it a monster home run or just a little base hit? Answering that question, well, that's a topic for another day.